Hello and welcome. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name's Fabian and I kindly introduce you to the 7th and final day of the Game Jam. My initial thought was to do this episode in 2 days because of Friday and Saturday, but on Friday evening I decided to do it in one because I was working till the night anyway. So to spoil you right before we start, I did make it. I finished the game and already submitted it to itch.io. But let's not waste any more time with that and see what I was doing the last 24 hours of the jam. I started my cozy Friday afternoon with making a jump animation. I really longed for it quite a long time, so I wanted to finish it first thing. I think we can all agree that jump without a little squash and stretch doesn't look the right way. After this little warm-up in Unity, I started to tackle the huge list of things which I still had to do to finally polish the game a little bit. The first thing on this list for me was sound effects. Probably all of you know, a game without sound effects is really boring. And because I knew it would take me quite a long time to search for all the sound effects I needed, I didn't want to do it like last minute. In the future, I'll plan to make my sound effects myself, but until I found some time to practice this and learn how to do my sound effects, the internet, especially freesound.org, will be my best friend. In terms of audio for the game, sound effects was not the only thing I was looking for. I also was searching for background music and for music that should play each time you finish a level. The goal for the background music was to be a little sad but not depressing, so that it would make you feel a little sad because the little cartridge was unbinded. And there should be a cheerful music at the end of each level when you finished collecting all the pens to encourage a joyful feeling of beating a level. Bringing those sound effects and the background music into the game was actually not that much of a hassle. But synchronizing those sound effects with all the actions you perform was a whole different story. After I spent a couple of hours tweaking and shifting things around a little bit, I was not completely satisfied, but I had to accept that this was the best that I could do for now and moved on because there were a lot of other tasks that I still had to do. For example, adding more levels. With some background music and the sound effects in the game, making levels and especially testing them was way more fun than before. I even found some time to include moving platforms into the game. Of course, it took me way longer than I expected them to, but I think in the end it was still worth it. So now back to the drawing board. There was still a lack of accomplishment when you finished a single level. To get this feel of accomplishment, I wanted to have the player emit notes the moment he finished the level. For this reason, I quickly drew some notes, gave them a gradient coloring, and after importing them into Unity, I started working on the particle system for this. For me, it was kind of important for the particles to not appear too fast, rather be synced up with the background music. Corresponding to the particle system, I gave the player a little beat animation. This was to emphasize on the happiness of the cartridge. But wait, there's more. At this point, it was already late at night. Although I was quite tired, the only thing that kept me working was all the excitement from being almost ready with the game. Let's look at those last changes together. One of those things was making a main menu. For me, the main menu is one of the important things in the game. It's like the first impression directly after the trailer. This is also the place where you make the setting changes before you start the game, and a place where you can look at the controls. Because in this game jam, I had still a lot of time left before I had to submit the game, I decided to make a nice looking background for my main menu, with the menu buttons looking like buttons of a recorder. You already saw me drawing the background for the start menu in the beginning of this video, and what you see now is the outlining after some revision and refinement. As you probably realized by now, I'm actually not that good at art, so this little picture took me quite some time. I'm afraid to admit it took me the whole night. And after coloring and some shading, I actually quite like it. Well, that's it. With this we reached the end of the video and we reached the end of the Game Jam week. I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I did and hopefully got some inspiration or learned something. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you play my game and of course give me some feedback on it. I actually don't know right now what I'm gonna do next, but for the rest of today I will take some rest. Until the next video, see you next time.